Almost all of us made it back. Oh shit! I got everybody's attention. So this is an example problem we'll see in section 9.1. Everything we were doing earlier is from chapter 4, so review. This is the new stuff. This is the new stuff. So it's kind of neat that the motivation for what we do is if I can make it look like one of the other problems you're doing earlier with less letters, then I know exactly how to do it. Because a lot of times people don't understand why we seem to do the same thing twice. If I can make two equations that have just y and z in them, for example, could I solve it the way we were doing earlier? Elimination, substitution, right? So that's the motivation for what we do first, is I try to create two equations that, let's say they don't have the x in them. It doesn't really matter what letter you kill. You got to kill it twice. So if I had 4 equations with 4 unknowns, I have to kill one letter 3 times, and then pick another letter, kill it twice, and then I'd be back to where we are now. So you can grow it. Now this gets a little bit difficult to keep track of if you're not good at bookkeeping. People that make mistakes normally are the ones that don't keep track of what the hell's what. I number my equations so I can reference them easily, right?
That's
How?
a Z.
Say again?
That's a Z or a 7.
That's a Z. See how it's got a little thing there? Z, Z, Z. That's a 7. Yep, cool. Give me one easy way to add 2 of these together to kill x. What's the easiest way to kill x?
-1 on 1 and 3?
No. See how they're already opposite signs? So I don't have to multiply either one of them by negative, right? They're already opposite signs. So if I take the first equation plus the third equation, I'll get a better equation. Why is it better? If I add those together, it's better. Why? It's got less shit I don't know. Right? If you're trying to solve a murder, if you can make it to get to a point where there's less shit you don't know, it's a better place to be, right? Now, please don't get hung up on the fact that 1 plus 3 is 4. This is going to make the 4th equation, okay? No matter if you did 2 plus 3 or 1 plus 2, it makes the 4th equation. Is that cool? So let's see, what's 1? 1 is x, 3 is the negative x. So when I add 1 and 3 together, what do I get?
0.
0.
5y.
5y
4z.
plus 4z. 22. So that is one better equation than any of these 3. Now, if I just had one more equation with only y and z in it, I can do like the stuff we did earlier, right? What's another way to kill x? You can't use this and this again because we already did that. You've got to kill x a different way. So see how these are already opposite signs? right? What could I multiply this one by so that these would die? Yeah, if I take 3 and multiply it by 2, right? So me being a little nice to myself here. Twice 3 plus equation 2 will give me equation 5. So what's twice the third equation? It's negative 2x plus twice 8y plus 6z equals 32. I like it. Does everybody see what I'm doing? See why I'm doing it?
So the thing.
So again, these kill each other directly. I just had to add the first and the third, and the x's kill each other.
Okay, so I got that part.
I got that
How
part.
did you
Now,
why
now,
did you next part?
just like we did before, why did I choose these two? Because they're already opposite signs. What do I wish was here so it would kill this? Let me multiply this by 2 then. So there is a freaking 2 there.
Oh, okay, so
What am I allowed to do to equations? Multiply both sides, divide both sides, add and subtract, right? Both sides something. You with me?
But I thought we kind of eliminated 3 because we added 1 and 3 together.
These don't go away. If I combine 2 of these, this is why I call this the fourth equation. It's not the new third equation. You see what I'm saying? I've got 4 equations now.
Yeah, I understand that.
This one's the best one of all. These still freaking exist. Right?
Oh, okay.
In fact, side note. Alright, let me make it. If I had x minus y equals 7, and x plus y equals 11, and I add them together, I get 2x equals 18, right? So x equals 9. How do you figure out what y is?
You plug it back in.
Oh shit, these better still be here, right? Or else I ain't got nothing to put. So you say, they died because I put them together. Well, then you'll never know what y is. You see what I'm saying? You plug that back into either one of these, well, they must both still be there. So this problem says these 3 things are true. Figure out what the point is where they're all 3 true. Yes?
So the first step is to eliminate the unknown thing that's like easy
Yeah,
to eliminate.
pick a letter.
And then the
Pick a
second-
letter, kill it twice.
And then the second part is to kill it again.
And the second part is just like the earlier shit we were doing, right?
Yeah.
Are we there yet? No, let's get there. You ready? Here's twice 3. Let me write down 2 right here so we have it right here in front of our faces. Here's 2. Right? And now I add those together. Why? Because then the x's die again. So the x's are all like, what did I do to you? Take it. So then what is this? 5y plus 5z equals 25. Yes, sir.
So you just picked 2 because there was a 2 and 2x, and then you put a 2 down there. So
Yeah, I can kill x with these 2 if I multiply 3 by 2. Now watch. You could have picked 1 and 2 if you multiply 1 by negative 2.
got it.
Totally. I'm not saying this is the only way to do this, bro. I could have killed all the y's, not kill the x's. But if I kill all the x's, I'm going to figure out y and z first, and then going to plug that into any of these to figure out what the hell x is.
And then after that, you just added the other equation that was like you took 3 and 2, and so you added 2 down there.
So I killed x one time.
right,
Then I killed x again.
right.
Now do you see how I got these 2 equations that I can work with to figure out y or z? Yes, ma'am.
So you could have used 2 instead for,
I could have used 1 and 2.
cancel for, oh,
The whole point, so the way I did it is not the only way. What's the idea behind what I did? Pick a letter, kill it twice. Any way you can see it happening. I always look for where is it already different signs, because when I multiply by negative, I could forget somebody. It's real easy to make mistakes with negatives. So I try not to do that. I try to find somewhere where they're already opposite signs. So if I wanted to kill the y instead, I would have multiplied this by 3 and added these together. And then this and this, I just got to suck it up. I'm going to have to multiply this by negative 4 and add these together. Do you guys see what's happening? Yes.
And you can't kill it the same way twice?
Because then you get the same equation. It's not useful. It's the same. It's like me saying I'm twice as old as you are, and you're half as old as I am. It's like, thanks for that. I don't know shit still, right? You get the same information again.
Yeah, so
the max time to kill it with 3 equations is, what you got?
You want to kill a letter twice,
Yeah.
because then you have these 2 easier equations to work with. And this is the review we just did. We know how to deal with these. Yeah.
This is gonna be so redundant too. So basically, I'm just trying to kill the x. And just make 2 equations, like in this particular.
You don't always have to kill it.
But it can be any variable.
It could be any letter. You pick a letter, you kill it twice, and then you get these guys 2 equations with 2 unknowns. We know how to do that.
Yeah,
You can do elimination. You can do substitution.
but the three is not cutting it, so you have to.
Yeah, this is way too many unknowns. Let me kill one of the unknowns twice. Now I've only got 2 things I don't know, 2 pieces of information about them. I can figure out what they are. And then poor little X dude, how do I figure him out? I just plug that shit I just figured out into Y and Z and figure out what X is. It's like dominoes, I call it. You start to fall backwards.
So 4 and 5 are about to make it equal 0 right now? Just
4
like-
and 5. Now what do you think I want to do between 4 and 5? I just do what I always would do. I try to kill Y or Z. Because then I know the other variable, don't I? What's really nice about these guys, see how I could divide this by 5? Why do I not want, normally you would do it. Makes the number smaller, but why do I not actually want to do that here? Because
5, 5, 5, 1.
these already want to die if I multiply one of them by negative. So really the idea behind this is kill. All right. So if I take this 4th one and multiply it by -1, right, I'll get -5y minus 4z equals -22. And then I put the 5th one, and I just write it here. This is the 5th equation, right? 5y plus 5z equals 25. You guys see what I did and why I did it.
Negative 22 too?
Yeah, it is. Yes, negative. Thank God. Yeah. Yes.
So you're doing elimination instead of substitution in this case?
Totally. Technically, you could do substitution if you want to, but it's kind of nice just to keep the same idea going the whole way through. But you can use substitution at this step too.
I think what just confuses me the most about these is I don't know like what step to do next.
The really beautiful thing is if you just remember to pick a letter, kill it twice, you then end up with a chapter 4 problem. What do I mean? There's just 2 letters I don't know and 2 unknowns, just like we were doing a minute ago. You forget about this shit, you forget about everything else. Your whole world is these 2 things. Does that make sense? I mean, that's...
I see
There's,
what you mean.
say again?
No, I see what you mean.
Okay, cool. I got you. So once I kill a letter twice, I have 2 better equations. They both have information about y and z, so I should be able to use them together to figure out y and z. Yes?
I should do it with -5y.
Just multiply this by negative. Why did I multiply by negative? So that these will actually cancel, right? Right now they would make 10y. That sucks. I don't want more of the thing I don't know. I want it to go away. So the biggest mistake I see with these kind of problems is people add stuff. They still have x, y, and z, and they're like, I don't know what to do now. No, well, of course you don't. I wouldn't know what to do either. Kill something. Make it better. Why are these suck? Because there's 3 things I don't know. What would make it better? Less stuff I don't know. There you go. Right? That's what motivates you to do this. Now what happens when I add these together? Negative 4z plus 5z is z. Negative 22 plus 25 is
3.
so no, z is 3.
Plug in
And now I plug 3 into either one of these to figure out what y is, right? This is the dominoes. So I'm going to take that and fall back to this step. Then I know y and z, then I fall back to this step and I can figure out what x is. All right, let's do it. Can't I figure, like here, if I plug a 3 in for z, can't I solve for y now?
Yes.
Yes. So I get 5y equals 25 minus 15 is 10. Y is 2. Now I know y, and I know z. I fall all the way back. See, this relates all 3 of them, so now I can figure out what x is. I'm going to use that first m equation, because it's the easiest freaking one.
I kind of got the same answer. I got the same answers, but I kind of did something different.
Oh, holy shit. There are so many different ways to go. I could have killed the X, I did. I could have killed the Y, okay? I could have killed the Z, okay? And after that, I could have killed the Z or the Y. It didn't matter. I just chose to kill the Y. What did you do differently?
For 5, I just kind of like isolated for the video. I like got one variable by itself, and so I ended up with like Y equals
5 minus Z?
yes.
And then you plugged a Z3 in. Same thing I did, just different order. I didn't divide by 5 until the end. You divided by 5 first. Math didn't give a shit when you divide by 5. It just has to happen.
So you plugged the Z into our equation number 5 that I plugged into our equation number 4?
Of course.
Okay.
Because the answer to these two is where both of these should work. So it shouldn't matter which one you use. In fact, let's check it. If I put a 3 in for Z here, I get 5y plus 12 equals 22. Subtract 12, 5y equals 10. Y is still 2, right? Since they have to be the point where they both work, it doesn't matter which one you pick. So now what do we know? The values of Y and Z. I got to figure out X. I can use any of these 3 equations because they all relate X, Y, and Z. I'm going to use the first one because it's the easiest freaking one, right? Doesn't matter which one you use. You just have to figure out what X is. So this will be X plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. You should be able to do this on sight. What plus 5 is 6? 1. So you get X is 1. Now here's the next really neat thing. Lines live in 2 dimensions, right? I can draw lines on a plane. Planes live in 3 dimensions. So this point, what's the point? What's the answer? 1, 2, 3. So that would be like the point 1, 2, 3. Right there. It's 3 dimensions. How do I know that? There's 3 unknowns. We live in the 3rd dimension. Don't we doing 3-dimensional shit, Jeff? We live in the freaking 3rd dimension. We shouldn't be that scared of it. Do you guys see how that makes sense? What's the only other direction I haven't used that I can go? Left, right, up, down. That covers the whole damn board. So the 3rd dimension has to be out. That's why you put the glasses on and take them off, get a headache. You have to have 3-dimensional graphing paper, which looks really kind of nifty. Instead of having just crosshairs, they actually have little cubes. Yeah. So we're not going to graph this. Don't freak out. It's a good question.
Oh, you're serious? There is 3-dimensional graphics?
There's 3. Yes, you can Google it. You guys are imagining. I think you're imagining like a little origami thing or fold-out thing. No, this is still flat. How do I make 3 dimensions? All right, there. I made 3 dimensions, right? Really shitty one, but oh well. I can make 3 dimensions on 2 dimensions. Of course I can.
Okay.
So it's still flat paper. It's not like you do it and then you put a little point. It's like, or you open it. Here's my coordinate system. The point is here. No, it's not 3-dimensional chess like on Star Trek. No. Too geeky a reference, I understand. Yes.
But because we're doing this, because you were talking about so we normally would have 2 equations, but since we have 3, that makes a 3-dimensional space.
Yes.
Okay.
So if that equation was the ceiling,
Right.
and that equation was that wall, and that equation was that wall, then that 1, 2, 3 point is that corner point up there. That's where they all meet. It's in the 3rd dimension.
Okay.
I have to be able to move left to right, up, down, and out, in to the paper or the board. Yes.
So the finished answer is 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, or if you just do X is 1, circle it, Y is 2, Z is 3, that's fine also.
Okay.
You don't have to write it as a point, but I just want to make sure you understand.
That it's also
If I can graph 2D stuff and see where they meet, I have to have the equivalent happen here. I'm not going to make you guys graph 3D. I'm not. If you're curious, you can Google 3D graph paper,
I did.
see what it looks like.
It looks kind of
You did?
Yeah.
Then it has the cubes on it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. It's called orthogonal graph paper also is another name for it.
So
Or isometric, that's the one. Orthogonal paper is a different
literally
thing.
just limited to 3 questions? Like, what if there were 6? Would it be like 6 dimensions? You know what I mean?
Totally.
So,
Oh yeah. So,
okay, that's all I had to ask.
Are we gonna do that? If not,
do you guys
we're gonna-
know about something called Pandora? I know there's Spotify now and all that kind of shit. Pandora has a special place in my heart because they take like a jazz song. Anybody like jazz?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Jazz.
You know what real music is. They take a jazz song and they identify like 500 components. Jazz is the one that has the most components. And so it might be, is the vocal forward or in the background? Is the percussion used a lot or a little bit? All these different variables that define a song. So when you like a song, it determines the distance between that song and some other song in 500 dimensional space.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it
It's
just,
all happening in like
yeah, so
seconds.
that's why it says here, do you like this one? And if you say no, they think, oh, we went the wrong direction. Let's try the other direction. And it just kind of hones in on the little area that you seem to like. It's a really neat algorithm. Do you have to understand everything I just said? No.
We're good, then I don't-
What other apps do
You
that?
cannot.
A lot of apps.
There's a, which ones do I know? I don't know. There's like obviously engineering apps that use the hell out of it, but it's not shit that we would really understand. But I love this one because it's music. The people that make Pandora are research scientists who love math and music. So they made this thing trying to improve, like Netflix's dumbass recommendation thing. We think you'll like this. And you're completely wrong. They were like, let's make a better thing like that for music. So if you use Pandora at all, that's how they figure out what to play for you next, and they improve. Anyway, cool. So when I say dimension, you guys automatically think physical dimension. I'm not going to get into the fact that there could be 10 or 11 physical dimensions. There's 3 that we know, we can see. You with me? When I say 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th dimension, I'm not talking about physical dimensions. Not Buckaroo Banzai in the 8th dimension. I'm not talking about physical dimensions. I'm just talking about there's 8 things that define a situation. How many variables define the weather? Okay, not 2, not 3, not even 11. Holy shit. So that's, when I say it's like 20-dimensional space, it's just that there's 20 things that define what the weather could do, right? It doesn't have to have a physical interpretation. You can't draw a 4-dimensional cube, although you can search hypercube.
But then one would argue that it's real.
Say again?
But one would argue that that's real.
Well, again, there's
He's scared.
physics that talks about we only see 3 dimensions out of the true 11 that there are.
But math
We're
is
not going to go there.
The upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the upside down, we're not even going to bring that in because then you have the whole radio thing and blood coming out. And then, I don't want that. Layer in the pool. And, Rah, I don't want that. Yes.
So, okay, so the only reason I asked that, because we could use that to figure out like a point within that box that's like 4 sides, and then we could find a point within that. Because
Yeah, if I...
that wasn't in like the
If I
corner
sliced
or-
it and sliced it and sliced it again, I could talk about the intersection of those slices I made,
Yes.
for example.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Is this chapter 9 still, or like section
This is 9-2.
2?
Yeah. Or yeah, this is 9-1. 9-2 we're about to get into is just the same thing as 9-1, just written in a different way. Sort of like long division sucked. You guys all agree this is long and sucky, right? It's not difficult. It isn't.
It's time consuming.
It's not difficult. How hard was it to multiply by 2 and then add them together? It really, I'm not trying to make you feel bad if you didn't understand some of this. I'm trying to make you realize it's not as hard as you might be making it. It isn't. This isn't hard, but it is gross. Long division of polynomials. Is it really hard? No. Is it something I want to do a lot of? No. Do you guys appreciate synthetic division existing?
Yes.
Yes. So 9-2 is sort of like synthetic division. I want to do this a lot quicker without so much writing. So that's what 9-2 does, is it gives me another way to do this, sort of like synthetic division did. Okay. All right.
But it's got rules.
Well, shit, yeah. I mean, is there a math
Synthetic division to how
It's
it
not
works.
like synthetic division, because synthetic division's purpose is to do long division.
Yeah.
But it is like synthetic in the fact that I don't write the variables. I just make sure they're all lined up. So here, what's really important, let me see if I can make this connection between the two. I got to do one more example like this, but what's really important in this problem, they're already x, y, z, right? There's a column of x's, a column of y's, a column of z's. What told me to add these two together?
Same.
Because that's 1 and that's -1. The X didn't matter worth shit. I just happened to want to kill that letter. It doesn't matter what letter it is. I'm just killing something. So if I wrote these, you guys see this feels a lot like synthetic, doesn't it? You see where that came from? Yeah, it's the coefficients for the first equation, right? And then the coefficients for the next equation. And then the coefficients for the last equation. And you see how beautiful, now I just focus on like, here, I can add those two rows together. That's equivalent to adding those two equations together. What am I trying to make happen here? I'm trying to make zeros happen, right? Because what does it mean if I make a 0 happen somewhere? That means I killed that letter. Same way over here, I want to make no x's, which means 0x. So if I make this a 0, if I add these two together, what would I get? Let me see if you guys can do this. Well, let me not even go that far. If I rewrite this, let me go that far. If I do this, if I add these together, what do I get? 0? 5? 4? 22. Isn't that 5, 4, 22? 5, 4, 22, right? I mean, do you guys see how it's trying to do the same thing that synthetic did? I'm trying to not have to write the variables all the damn time because they don't matter. It's the numbers that matter. All right, that's all right.
True.
Now, just in case, anybody know what this kind of thing is called? Matrix.
I like matrices.
Good. So, you know, math people watching The Matrix, we had a lot of stupid jokes about it.
Wait a second, please.
Sure.
So wait, so what is that called? And that's
This is a system of 3 equations,
system theory.
and this is a way to solve it.
And that's synthetic system theory.
Yeah, but don't say that.
Okay.
Do you understand why I brought up synthetic division? Because what does it do? It rewrites long division as things with just the coefficients. This is the same idea as what synthetic division does. This is a matrix. What does a matrix do? It takes the coefficients as long as all the variables are lined up. Why does it make sense that all the variables have to be lined up? Because I'm adding these, they better be freaking like terms. So if one of these was y, z, and x, and you just wrote it, that doesn't make any damn sense. You can't add not like terms. So as long as they're in the right order, you can focus totally on the numbers. That's what this method does. Yes?
And so for, never mind, I just answered that.
I like it. Makes my job easy. Okay.
So that's the matrix, just with a bunch of more numbers.
What do you mean?
Like the matrix, it would be that, but like.
You mean the movie now, or are we talking about?
Like, yeah. With like a
That
bunch
was
of
just
numbers.
a cool word to use.
Yeah.
My name is Neo. Okay. Wanted to go like, aren't you the Elf King? Okay. Like it. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So here, no. All right. Kind of forgot this is coming up. You're gonna love this. So 9-1 is systems of equations of 3 variables. 9-3 is matrices. 9-2, of course, is the thing you hoped would exist, is the word problems related to systems of 3 variables, 3 equations. So we just did 9-1. 9-2 is just word problems. You got to set up the equations and then do like we just did. So let's try one. Here, let's try a geometric one. I like this. Say in a triangle ABC. The measure of angle B is 3 times the angle A. The measure of C is 20 more than A. 1 and A. Find them angle measures. Right?
Those are C's?
What's happening?
Greater than.
Okay, less than.
No, that's angle. Angle.
Okay.
Yeah. Angle B means in the triangle ABC, that would be angle B. That's the symbol for angle. If I said draw an angle, you could draw something like that. So I use that as the symbol for angle. How would you know that? 'Cause I said the word angle as I drew it. That's how. So obviously this naturally gives me names already. A, B, C, right? So the first equation very often is the easiest equation, and sometimes the one that people forget exists. I know that A plus B plus C must be what?
180.
180. All the angles in any triangle, at least in the geometry we use, is 180 degrees when you add them up. So one equation I can write is A plus B plus C is 180. You almost always have what's called a total equation. All the shit totals to be something. Now the other two equations are just in your face there. Bless you. What's the second equation? Angle B is 3 times angle A.
Angle B.
So B equals 3 A. B is 3 times A. That's exactly what it says, right? Right in your face. You gotta love this shit. Of course, this is number 5, so don't get too excited. It's the early one, so it should be easy. Third equation, of course, is C is 20 more than A. You can write it either way, but I just do it like that to be safe. 20 less than A, less than would have to be written as A minus 20. Assuming you guys were writing 4 minus X in the triangle and get negative side lengths and shit, that's not good. Now, does this look like the same setup from the one we did earlier? No. Does anyone see? There's a quicker way to do this. See how the second equation has how many unknowns? Only 2.
One.
It's already better. There's only 2 unknowns here, right? This one only has 2 unknowns, right? So there should be a quicker way to solve this than what we did. Plug it in.
Can't you put 2 and 3 into 1?
Yes, you can use substitution for this. A, I know what B is. It's 3A. I know what C is. It's A plus 20. Do you see how you'd have an equation with only what letter in it? A. So then you can solve for A. So try it. Do it. I'm tired, right? You guys. Even if you don't want to do it, like I always say, draw a duck or something. Or draw a cube. Try to draw. But the best thing to do is to try to do this problem. That's the best thing to do.
You knew it's always going to end up 180 because it's a triangle?
If it's a triangle's angles, it'll always add up to 180 total. The perimeter, I love when people just make it 180. No. Perimeter is whatever they tell you the total perimeter is. So, I mean, what are we saying? You can take the first one and rewrite it as A plus B, but what's B?
3A.
B is 3A. So wherever I see B, I can rewrite it as 3A because that's what the hell B is. And what's C? A plus 20. So let me write it like that because that's a better way to write it. Equals 180, so now I can solve for A. Once I know A, I know both B and C because they both relate to A.
So instead of putting the same for B, same for A, B is just 3A.
So B is 3A. So wherever I see a B, I can replace it with 3A because B is 3A, right? just waiting for people still writing. I want to give you guys a chance to go. Yeah, so you get here
5A
5A, subtract 20, so you get
equals
60. So then A is 32 degrees. Don't forget the units. Oh shit. I'll be in it and a dork in this right. Miles, like we did on Sarah Peterson. If A is 32, then B is 96 degrees. And so C is 32 plus 20, 52 degrees. How do you check to make sure this is right? Add them all up, make sure you get 180. That's what they're supposed to do, right? So 32 plus 52 is 84 plus 96 is 180. Okay, let's see, let's try another one. What did I sign out of here? Okay. We just did a homework problem. Yay, you got some of your homework done. Let's try. Oh, that's too fun. Let's try something that's not too freaky. Ooh. Oh shit. Alright, I like this.
Show us one that we're gonna have trouble with on the homework.
Yeah. I can do that. Well, let's see. What's one more like what you'll see? Oh, well, that's sort of like one we did before. Oh, God, that's stupid. Did I sign that one? Yes, I did. Haha. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Let's do this one. This one is about Chick-fil-A, which is a very interesting restaurant. You have all kinds of feelings about Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A recently sold small lemonades for $1.55.
small lemonade.
For $1.55. Medium lemonades for $1.79. And large lemonades for $2.09. During a lunchtime rush, Chris, I love how they give the names like we know this guy. Remember Chris? Works at Chick-fil-A. He sold 40 total lemonades. And made a total of $70.70. Oh, okay, you ready? The number of small drinks and large drinks combined. Let's give these guys some variables. There's I'm going to call the large ones L. I'm going to call the mediums M. I'm going to call the small ones not S because my S's look like 5. So let's call the small ones, yeah, T might be better for tiny. So here's the last relationship. The number of small drinks and large drinks combined was, I'll stop. How do you write the number of large drinks? Small drinks and large drinks combined. Yes, so that would be T plus L. Tiny drinks and large drinks combined was 10 fewer than the medium drinks. Good, m minus 10. 10 fewer than the medium. All right, there's one equation already for me, right? There should be, not always, but most of the time there's going to be an easy equation. What do I mean by that? Just add up all the frickin' letters. What equation would that come from?
Total lemonades.
Total lemonades,
T plus
40.
L.
So then that means T plus M plus L equals 40. And then what's the third equation? It's going to involve money. For every tiny one, how much do they make? Stay with me now.
155.
155. So 155 times how many tiny drinks they sold. Keep going. Plus 179 times all the medium drinks they sold. Plus 209 times how many large drinks they sold. Would all total up to be the total money they made. That makes almost too much sense to believe. Number of lemonades, number of lemonades, number of lemonades, number of lemonades. Money, 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 money. Right? You got to make sure that everything is the same idea, or else you've used the wrong thing in the wrong equation. Let me stop here for a second. Now you got to be honest. These set up a lot easier than the word problems we were doing before.
Yes.
You have to agree with that because it's almost just they just say the equation in English. You're like, oh, okay, just translate it to math. That's awesome. To be honest, that's what was happening earlier, but this is just a little more direct. This is just a little more direct. You with me? That's why it's a little bit easier. Now it's all about solving this shit, right? So one thing you could do, is any equation missing any other letters? No, all three equations have all three. There is a cool little thing about this specific set of equations. And there will be certain things you can see that will make things quicker. So I could do it the whole way like we did before. I can write them all down. Let me do that. Let me start that off. I can write all of them down. I'm going to subtract the m on that first one. So it looks more like what we did. Remember A, B, C, blah, blah, X, Y, Z. T plus L minus M equals negative 10. T plus, let me put them in the right order. Well, screw it. T plus L plus M equals 40. And the third one would be 1.55T. We put the L second just to be the same. Plus 1.79M equals 77. That's the equation that we're all going to stare at and hate. Right. Okay, why? Not too bad. So do you see how, like the very first problem we did, we can do it the same way. We can pick a letter, we can kill it twice, do the whole process the same exact way. Or we can realize something right here. Look, does this tell me that T plus L is M minus 10? Don't I have a T plus L right here? Couldn't I replace T plus L with M minus 10 and then I can solve for M?
Yes.
T plus L is M minus 10. So anywhere I see a T plus L, I can replace it with M minus 10. Now one thing I haven't said yet, why would I put M minus 10 here? Why would that not make any sense? That's the equation that came from. You never plug an equation into itself. Because then you just get like 2 equals 2. Right? And then somehow you think it's all real numbers or some weird shit. No, you never plug it in itself. That's, circular logic. You use a piece of information in somebody else. All right, let me make sure you guys understand. Do you have to notice what I just said? No. You can pick a letter. I would pick maybe M because there's already opposite signs here, right? Kill it once, kill it again. You have 2 equations with T and L. You can solve for those, right? You do this whole way we did before.
That's just an easier way to do it.
This is just a specific thing about the way these equations are set up. I see a little shortcut. So I can get M quicker, right? So let's do this. Let's solve this the way we did well, which way do you guys want to solve this? Y'all are like, I don't, Jeff. Is that a valid? D, none of the
I
above.
didn't know you could read.
That's too bad. I can, not show you any examples of anything. I don't think you want me to do that. Make my job like really easy. Just come in and stare at you guys for 3 hours and then go, okay, leave. But does everybody understand? If I added 1 and 2 together, wouldn't that end up with a T and L equation? Now the other way to do it would suck because I have to use this third dude, don't I? But couldn't I multiply this one by just 1.79? Because then wouldn't the negative 1.79 and the positive 1.79, they would cancel?
Oh, sure.
And the other shit would just do whatever weird shit they do. A bunch of decimals running around, right? But the idea doesn't give a shit. We give a shit those decimals. The idea just says, what would I want to have here? 1.79. So let me multiply by that shit so it's there. Is it a nice number? No. Is the idea the same? Yes. So let's try this other way real quick, just to show you why I want you to feel like you want to look to see if you can be clever about some of this stuff sometimes. So I know that t plus L is m minus 10. How could I rewrite the second one then? I replace this with m minus 10. So then I have plus m. Can't I solve for m now? So I used one piece of information in another piece of information. That's totally the idea. So now I get 2m equals 50. So I get m is
25.
So we know how many medium lemonades this person sold. Now people see this and they do this and then they go, what the shit do I do now? I can't blame them for that. But here's the beautiful thing about seeing this. I know what m is. I can replace m with that, right? In all three of these. Then I'll only have T and L left. I don't know if you guys really get what I'm saying. I don't have to kill the m twice. I know what it is. I replace it with a number, and then I can just move it to the side. And then I just have T and L. Then I can just do elimination, substitution, and get T and L, right? So let's see, what is this going to look like? What's the first equation become? Plug a 25 in. Add it over. I get T plus L equals 15, right? Is that cool? Because this would be minus 25, add it over. 25 minus 10 is 15. Now notice, don't get too excited, because when you plug a 25 here, you subtract it over, you get T plus L equals 15 again. That's fine. It's like me going, I'm twice as old as you. I'm twice as old as you. You're like, I got it, I heard you. Shit. T plus L equals 15. All right, we got it. And what's the third equation become? Oh shit, 1.55T plus 2.09 L plus 1.79 times M equals 70. So I can multiply and subtract it out of the way. Stay with me. I know the decimals are like so dominating your viewpoint right now. I don't give a shit about the decimals. 2.09 is nothing different than 3. Just takes longer to write. It's just a number. Piece of shit. But what is 1.79 times 25? I don't know. 44.75.
75.
Sure. And then when you subtract it from 70,
How do we subtract? Oh, we subtract it, it's
25.95? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody cool with that? We did this, we multiply this, calculator, and then subtract it, calculator again, bam, 29.95. So that's my third equation. Can't I use these two now? I can do substitution if I want to. It's not a bad idea because then it doesn't matter what I solve for here. I can plug it in. All right, let me see if you guys can finish this. Try to finish this. Try to figure out what L and T are. Yes?
Why did you repeat it? 1 and 2.
Because 1 and 2 both became the same thing. I just wanted to make sure you understood that. It would be great if I could use 1 and 2 because they don't have any decimals, but they tell me the same thing. Oh shit, I do have to use the third one. Too bad.
For where it says 29.95, it's 25.
25?
Yeah.
Thank you. Which method are you guys using? I'm using the wait until you do it, Jeff. Which method are you using, substitution or elimination? What are you guys doing? Elimination? Anybody doing substitution? Who's drawing a duck? Anybody? So, it doesn't really matter which way you use. You just have to know how the shit to do it. So if you use elimination, how would I kill the t, for example? I have to multiply this first one by negative 1.55. So then I get negative 1.55t minus 1.55L equals whatever the hell 1.55 times 15 is. 22.5, 22.5.